Robert Sylvester Kelly. Damn.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no.
Alright y'all, so I just want to hop up on this camera real quick and talk about my thoughts on surviving R. Kelly. I pretty much was stuck up in the house all weekend. Now, I wasn't stuck up in the house, but I spent pretty much most of my weekend watching the documentary series while I was recovering from my really bad cold. You can probably still hear that I really sound stuffy, so I'm sorry if I sound stuffy, but I'm getting over a really bad cold. I feel like everybody and mom is getting sick out here right now. I feel like every other YouTuber I watch is getting sick. But regardless of that, I spent, like I said, I spent the whole weekend watching the documentary. It was a 6-part documentary on R. Kelly and his transgressions over the past couple of decades with a bunch of different women and how that's affected them and their families, and just how it's like reverberated throughout the music industry, and also just throughout you know, throughout the communities he resides in. And I mean, there's a lot to be said about this documentary, guys. There's a lot to be said, but I think I'll just kind of keep this simple and short. If you've not already watched it, I did do a reaction video for R. Kelly's song I Admit, which came out last summer. I remember when that song dropped, I felt like I had to do a reaction for that song, because, you know, when you see a headline that says R. Kelly, you know, puts out this new 19-minute song called I Admit, where he's admitting to, quote unquote, admitting to, like, you know, what he's done in the past and all his transgressions, which it really wasn't that. I felt like, oh my god, like this is not even for me. It wasn't for clicks, it wasn't for views, it wasn't for clout. I just had to react to it because I genuinely wanted to see how I felt about the song, and I wanted to see how other people, you know, felt about my reaction to the song. But it's funny because when I made that video, I want to say like half of the people who were watching it, who saw it, liked it, and half of the people who saw it didn't like it. I feel like my comments were like half and half of people who supported my view on that song, and half who were like, you know, why are you coming to R. Kelly like this, and like, you'll know him, like, you know, he's a, you know, just people who are defending him crazy. And I remember after I made that video, I was very disappointed in a lot of people who decided to watch my video, because after I reacted to that song, it just reminded me that we for the most part, if you're grown, like if you're at least 20 something years old, at least, we have all been familiar with R. Kelly's transgressions in the past, at least on the surface level. We all know about the sex tape. We all know about his videos. We all know about him urinating on the 14-year-old girl back in like the late 90s or early 2000s. We all know about that. We all knew about it back then. And when I think about it, it still baffles me how, even though I knew about it, even as a kid, like I heard about it, even though as a kid I really didn't understand like what the fuck any of that really meant, but I still knew like that it happened, and I still knew that he had a shady past, you know, around him. But for some reason, R. Kelly's one of those examples of how we let somebody who we know was like not all the way right in terms of his moral compass, and not all the way right in terms of his moral decisions and things he's done in his life behind closed doors and in secret spaces. We knew he wasn't all the way there with it, but for some reason over these past, like, I want to say like the last like 15 years, we have just let R. Kelly slide, and we continue to allow R. Kelly to have an amazing career. And to me, there's two parts to that. One part of that is the fact, and a lot of people have acknowledged it, you know, talking about this whole documentary, and also a lot of the women and people in the documentary did acknowledge it, is the fact that he is a musical genius. And I said that in my video when I talked about the I Admit song, and it's one of the things that I think hurts me the most about R. Kelly, and this hurts me the most, especially as a R&B fan. You know, R&B is my wheelhouse. That's my favorite genre. It's the genre I ride for. It's what I love most about music is R&B. R. Kelly has, and to be honest, kind of will always be a staple of the greatest parts of R&B music from the 90s and the 2000s. That honestly, that history will never really go away, whether we like it or not. But that man, his talent, his writing ability, his voice, his musical genius, not only in and of himself, but also the musical genius that he contributed to other artists. I don't think a lot of people understand how many songs R. Kelly wrote for your favorite artists. R. Kelly not only has his own catalog, which is crazy, but he also wrote hella songs for so many other artists. So at least in terms of the songs that he wrote for other artists, we can kind of put that to the side because it's other artists singing those songs. But in terms of his catalog, even that in and of itself, his catalog is one of the greatest catalogs in R&B history. He has one of the most prolific catalogs in R&B history. And even when we first were aware of his transgressions back in the like late 90s, early 2000s, even at that point his catalog was still legendary. He still had a great catalog, and he only continued to build it after our first learning of his transgressions. So that's one part of it, in terms of the fact that he has one of the dopest catalogs in R&B music. But then on the other side of that, the other issue that comes into play is the fact that, especially when it comes to black men, there is such like a sensitive, you know, thing at play where, especially in the black community, we find it hard to penalize our own, and we hold our own in such high regard even when we know they're doing wrong. And that really does, you know, that really does tie into the fact that he has such an amazing catalog. I don't think the black community, you know, in particular at first, has been ready all these years to let go of R. Kelly because of what his music has meant. I don't think we've been ready to admit to ourselves that we've championed and supported and loved and respected a man because of his music, who at the end of the day is a sexual predator. And the other part of this larger discussion, in my opinion, is not only with R. Kelly, but really for the black community in general. And excuse me if I'm kind of all over the place, but I kind of did this on the fly. But the other part of this issue, even more than R. Kelly, is the fact that, especially within the black community, and I want to say just Africans, Caribbeans, just black people in general, in our communities, I think we have the hardest time touching upon and really addressing not only mental health, but also sexual predators and rape and assault and sexual harassment. I think in our community we just have a hard time admitting that it happens in our families, in our communities, in our spaces, and I just think we have a hard time admitting that sometimes some of the people we've looked up to the most in this world can really be people that we didn't know that they were. And I think one of the biggest things that this documentary has taught me, and just and I think one of the biggest lessons this documentary has shown all of us, is just kind of two things: how much we need to really open up our eyes and ears more to what's going on around us, but also how much we need to stop championing people that we love because of what they've delivered to us in terms of value, in terms of entertainment, or whatever they've given us. We need to stop championing people who have given us amazing arts or amazing achievements in life, even when we know they've done wrong. I remember I also made another video last year talking about Bill Cosby, and I was saying the same thing. Bill Cosby gave us one of the greatest black male, you know, father figure characters on TV with his character on The Cosby Show. And that character will always live on. Cliff Huxtable will always live on. But that doesn't mean we can't acknowledge the fact that Bill Cosby, the man, was a monster and is a monster. We need to kind of get that clear. I, for one, am never ever going to sit here and act like R. Kelly's music doesn't mean anything to me or to black people, or that his music hasn't been amazing when it was created back in the day and still now till today. But I can confidently say that I know, even though there's the lack of evidence has been questionable, especially in the documentary and just, you know, in general, I feel in my heart that R. Kelly truly is a sexual predator, and that he's a really evil man that's filled with so much darkness. And, you know, on the outside, you know, all these years he just exuded nothing but light and positivity with his music and with his career. But, you know, behind closed doors and when nobody was looking, he was a monster. And I think enough information in that documentary really proved that. Like I said, we all knew it before. We all had inklings before. If you're at least 20-some years old, we all knew it before. But for some reason, the evidence wasn't strong enough, and we didn't push hard enough to really say, okay, you know what, this is wrong. And I think like I said, it's a good lesson for me, and it's a good lesson for all of us, because throughout me growing up as a teen and as an adult, I continue to appreciate R. Kelly's music, old and new. Even though I always had in the back of my mind, man, R. Kelly, there was those rumors of him back in the day, you know, doing XYZ. And I think it's sad that we really let it go to the side like that. But this documentary to me was a good explanation, and so just a good representation of how much we really do let go as a society, and how much we really do let slide as a society, in favor of not doing the hard work of having discussions, having real, honest, hard discussions about mental health and about sexual harassment, abuse, and rape in our communities. And I think that needs to change from here on out. So that's what I really want to say about this documentary. I know there's a lot of different opinions around the documentary. A lot of people think it's all a hoax, and a lot of people think these people in the documentary are all just out to get R. Kelly's money and just to ruin his legacy, which I can see that side. I can see why people think that's what it is. And there's a lot of people who are saying, you know, fuck R. Kelly and he's an evil man, and you know, cancel his music and all that. And I definitely see that as well. But you know, in terms of me looking at it objectively, I will say that to me there was a certain thing that kind of caught me off guard with the documentary. I'll say I really was here for all the women who were really younger girls when they were I guess like introduced to R. Kelly. But I'm not gonna lie, guys, I would love to get your opinions on this, but there was a part of me that felt a little bit weird about what were their names, Kitty Jones and Asante McGee. I believe those women were in their 30s when they met R. Kelly, and they were also part of the, you know, the group of women who were abused or raped or, you know, assaulted by R. Kelly throughout the years. And a part of me did kind of feel weird about those two women, because I'm sorry if you feel like I'm being judgmental or anything. I'm not trying to victim shame at all, but I did feel really weird about the fact that two women in their 30s met R. Kelly and were subject to the same type of abuse that I can clearly see a young woman easily going through, who's in her late teens, early 20s. So this is not me victim shaming at all, but I just really want to get your opinion on, especially those 2 men in the documentary in particular. And I really just felt weird about their presence in the documentary, not because I don't believe their stories, not because I don't believe them, but it's because I just don't understand how in your 30s you're out here with the same type of story that a teenager has, in terms of being introduced to R. Kelly and going through all the assault and pain that they did. So I just felt kind of weird about that. But let me know what y'all think about those two in particular. But besides that, guys, I think this documentary was a great thing for us to witness. I think it was a great way to start out 2019, in terms of getting a real conversation started around sexual assault, rape, mental health, especially within the context of the Black community in particular. It's so important. I think I've said all I needed to say about this, guys. Please, guys, like I was saying before, what this documentary shows is that we need to start having more conversations in our own communities about these issues, and really use this. I don't think we should really focus just on R. Kelly, because I feel like R. Kelly will get his day. The Lord is gonna treat him how he wants to treat him, and he's gonna get his day according to the Lord. But I think R. Kelly is a great example for not only a lot of the fucked up shit that goes on in the entertainment industry that a lot of people are just not privy to, including myself, but I think R. Kelly's his story and his documentary is a great example of how much we all need to do a better job of not only taking care of ourselves, but also making sure we're taking care of others in our community, and also making sure we're looking around. Look who's around you, and really take the time to look at who's in your circle, look at who's in your family, who's in your community, because the rapists, the sexual assaulters that walk around in our streets, they are someone's mother, they are someone's father, they're someone's brother, they're someone's sister, they're someone's aunt or uncle or whatever, or friend or cousin or whatever. We have to do a better job looking around in our own communities and looking around in our own families, and really paying attention to the people in our lives, and being more cognizant of the fact that these things really are real, and that they are happening, they've been happening, and that they are happening, and that they will continue to happen until we start doing things as people. So I'm getting off my soapbox, guys. I just want to talk about that. Let me know what your thoughts were on the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. I think there's a lot to unpack. I don't want to make this video too long, and I don't want to talk about this topic forever. There's way more to unpack, but I kind of just wanted to give my general thoughts on this, on the documentary and on this whole issue. Also, rest in peace Aaliyah, rest in peace baby girl. That documentary had me even sadder when I thought about Aaliyah's life and her legacy and what she went through with R. Kelly. So I just want to you know, send my prayers and send my love and thoughts to all the victims of R. Kelly and all the victims out there of sexual assault, of rape, of abuse, domestic violence, whatever. There's so much hate and there's so much evil and there's so much darkness in this world. And when I think about it, that was actually one of the main reasons why I wanted to start my YouTube channel, because I felt like I wanted to just be able to provide positivity in whatever way I could with my reactions and with my thoughts on music and whatever else. You know, just to brighten somebody's day, whatever way I could, no pun intended. So I hope I did that with this video. I hope I continue to do that with all my content. And I just want to send love, like I said, to all the people who have been affected by R. Kelly, and also all the people who've been affected by these issues at large. Sending all my love to you guys, okay? We all need to do a better job of taking care of ourselves and taking care of each other, and just making better decisions, guys. That's all I gotta say about that at the end of the day. So I hope you guys like this video. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, guys, hit this video with a like. Please subscribe to my channel and share this video if you haven't already, guys. I appreciate y'all. And like I said, guys, like I always say, live your best life, drink more water, stay woke, and if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song, alright? It'll make you feel better. Go listen to your favorite song. But this has been your boy Brights, the R&B Kid. Thank you for watching. But for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, y'all.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no. Relax just a little bit, you don't gotta worry, you can just have